take out a loan as long as you understand that you have to pay back. One of the things I would recommend to you is do not start off a job by saying I need to take off 2 weeks. Just don't. It's a bad idea. It may happen to you. But what are you doing when you start a job and you want to take time off? Well, it doesn't matter. If it's in the first 6 months of you working there, you're taking out a loan because your balance isn't that high. Right. You're taking out a loan over money you don't have. So your relationship does not have a high enough balance to manage this a lot of times. It's no problem taking out a loan. What do you have to do when you take out a loan? Pay it back. So what'll happen is somebody will get in a job and they'll, like 2 weeks in, they'll go on vacation, they'll come back, and all of a sudden they'll find that they're getting the crappy shifts, and all of a sudden they're finding that people are going to expect them to work harder, or all of a sudden they're like, why do I have to work harder than everybody else? I'm like, well, duh. When you come back, what should you expect? To work harder than other people. Right. It's no problem if you understand that when you come back, you have to work twice as hard, because not only do you have to make your regular deposits, you got to pay back what you borrowed. If you sign up for that, that's great, but a lot of times people come back and they totally forget that they took out a loan. Right? And then you get a nasty grant. So you really need to kind of conceptualize this way. It's a great way to conceptualize relationships. I can tell you if you're sitting in my classroom at this moment, you're taking out a loan. You're probably taking out about 10. Where are you taking loans out from besides the U.S. government?
Your family?
Yeah, your family. Because you are sitting here, there is somebody at home with your kids, or somebody at home without you, or some family event you can't go to, or your employer. Right? How many somebodies are paying the price for you to be here right now? A lot. It doesn't even matter who you are. Somebody's are always paying the price for you to be here. Is that a problem? Well, taking out a loan is not really a problem. What do you have to understand about a loan?
You have to pay it back.
Got to pay it back with interest. Interest. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to tell you about interest. You guys all have probably been told this. What do we tell you to do with interest while you're in school? Oh, you should have been told this. You should pay your interest while you're in school. Why do you pay your interest? You don't pay your loan, but you pay your interest.
Because you credit?
Well, it compounds. If you don't pay your interest, so like you could pay like, I don't know, $400 for this entire school year. It'll compound into like $5,000 if you don't pay it. So pay your interest. So in terms of relationships, I'm gonna tell you the same thing, pay your interest. Great thing about relationships, money does grow on trees. And paying off your interest isn't that hard. So what does that look like in your life, paying off interest on your loan in school? Who's watching your kids?
My sister today.
Okay, you just took out a loan.
Yep.
How are you gonna
With
pay
interest, because I had to pay the interest. I had to pay her ahead of time.
Yep. So how are you gonna pay that interest off?
To my sister or to my kids?
Both.
To my kids, I make a better life.
Oh yeah, that's not. Wells Fargo doesn't care if I'm making a better life.
Oh, my kids do. They're demanding.
That's not immediate, is it? That's the loan part. Sometimes just saying thank you. I watch Jim most breaks pay interest on his loan. What does he do during every break in his class? Yeah, that's a little bit of interest, right? That's a little bit of, I know this is hard on the whole family. We can pay a little bit of interest. That takes discipline, doesn't it?
Especially when you yell at them.
Especially when I yell at them. So, are you paying your interest as you go? And a lot of times the interest just goes, sister, thank you so much. I know this is hard. I know, for you that are not in the family, Jacob talked about that. You're not around. You're not a family thing. Just saying, I appreciate you guys. It goes a long way. Money does grow on trees in relationships. Going home to your wife and just going, man, I know this is hard on you. Because sometimes it's super hard on us that we forget that it's super hard on everybody else too. Just paying that interest off will go a long way. But here's what I suspect, especially if you have kids. Here's what happens the day after graduation. The day after graduation, they're going to take your child, hand him to you, and walk away. That's what's going to happen. All those responsibilities, like if they've been helping you with the house, they've been helping you with stuff, all of a sudden they're going to hand them all to you and stop. What are they doing? Students were shocked about this. I mean, don't be shocked. Why are they going to hand you everything they've been doing? Huh? Yeah, they're like, here you go. I've been doing this for however many years. Tag, you're it. And a lot of times students are like, but I went to school to make your life better. I'm like, yeah, but that's not happening yet. Number one. Number two, you've been totally checked out. This person has taken up the slack in so many ways. They're done. Just expect it. That loan's going to come due. It's no problem. Don't be shocked when the loan comes due. Don't get mad at Wells Fargo. So you start by looking at what's happening in those relationships. Now that person takes out loans with you all the time too. But it's borrowing on credit you don't have. Now, those of you who are into the whole banking thing, there's an alternative to loans. We prefer not to take loans. What would be a good alternative to loans?
Grants.
Get grants. That's pretty hard to do with people though. People aren't so generous. Like actual people. Here's the deal, it's called savings. Wouldn't it be better for you to pay for something outright? So what does savings look like in relationships?
Goals.
Okay. Well, I've been working here 12 years. If I wanted to have a job, what had I better have? A really good savings account with my employer. Yes? That means I've worked more than I got paid for over a significant amount of time to accrue this amount of money. Why is that 100% necessary in a career?
Emergencies.
Huh?
Emergencies.
Emergencies. Here's the deal. You work with somebody long enough, you're going to have a death in your family. You're going to go through a major illness. You're going to have your car break down. You're going to have stuff happen. Yes? Big stuff. I was in the hospital 6 or 7 times last summer. I had to keep calling my boss, Kelly. I've never missed days, ever missed class, ever. I'm in the hospital again. Whether or not she decides to do that, it has nothing to do with fairness. It has everything to do with, is my account balance high enough? Right? Now at that point, she was like, yeah, no problem. Like it's no problem. But why was it no problem? I got a balance, I got savings. But what do I do the minute I get out of the hospital?
Again?
You start building that savings. Like, I don't get paid to sub classes. I am so busy. Do I do it anyway? Lots of the time. It's because I'm a brown noser. I'm definitely not a brown noser. It's called building up savings. Because at some point I'm going to need that, right? And that's part of maintaining good relationships. In times where you have 2 weeks off and you have a minute and you have a good day. If you want to be a happy person in your relationships, how do you better do? It's savings, and you got to build it. 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 And you got to build it, because those notes come due. So you got a good savings account. Here's an interesting fact. If you are married and one of your parents dies, the probability of you getting divorced in the next 2 years goes up 1,000%. That means you are 10 times more likely to get divorced within the first 2 years. Why is this?
You don't have a high enough savings account.
Tell me more about that.
Well, when you lose somebody, all your energy and all your time and focus is all on that aspect of what happened, instead of the other person that's trying to help you through it.
Yep, pretty much. And I lost my mom very suddenly. I stopped everything but work. I just checked out. And that's, I think, a healthy thing, actually. Right? That's part of healing. You just kind of go within. But here's the thing. Who is running my life? Yes. Who is making sure that my family was okay? Who is making sure that my family ate? Who is making sure that things happen around the house? Who is making sure that my dogs are still alive? Because I was gone. And all of those responsibilities she took in. But the other thing, part of grief, is that you go through this really angry period. And who are you usually angry at?
Person closest to me.
Yeah, whoever's there, you're pissed at them. So I literally, and I'm not a yeller, I'd literally be yelling at Sid in between going, I know this isn't you. I know I'm not mad at you, but I'm still yelling at you right now. Because that anger is so hard to control. Well, who's picking up the slack on that? Right. And is that a problem?
Yes. It becomes one.
If,
It goes on too long.
right,
There's only so much that,
One person can handle.
you know, there's only so much that we can do to keep our sanity and try to keep yours as well.
right, there is a limit. Actually, the starting balance gives you a sense of limit. So if you look at, Cinder relationship did really well. Now I did a couple things. I paid my interest, which looks like what? It looks like every now and then going, I know this is so hard, I appreciate you. I wish paying my interest on my mortgage was that easy. It looks like going, I know I'm not mad at you, but I'm yelling at you. Right?
That's the hard part for people though.
Right. It looks like just owning it. Right? That's part of paying your interest. Number one. Number two, so you look at my sister. So my sister, just as much trauma as me, but her spouse just checked out. Why did he check out? So didn't check out. They were at a near zero balance when it happened. He just didn't have it. He didn't have it to give. Can you give what you don't have?
No.
No. Cindy had a very high balance with a very high savings. So she had all of those resources within herself, right? She built up all those interpersonal resources over all those years. And so she had the emotional energy to give. If she didn't have it, would it be a matter of caring enough? You just don't have it. You can't give what you don't have. And that's just a matter of balance. That has nothing to do with love. I'm sure that my brother-in-law loves my sister as much as anything. But when you don't have a balance of love and affection and you don't have that energy from that relationship, you have nothing to give. So that paid a price. Who else paid a price losing my mom? Wasn't just Sid.
You.
Well, yeah, but it's not about me. Everybody in my house, what did they all have to do? They all had to pick up the slack. They all had to do more extra because I wasn't doing. Who else paid? Mm-hmm.
Your job.
My job? Right?
Who
I
didn't
showed
send
up.
Flowers.
Huh?
Who didn't send flowers? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't even start.
She's like,
This would be a bad deal. This is part of why you want to remember these things, because these little deposits are sometimes, in that case, large deposits. Okay, right. Are they going to pay a price for this happening in my life? Yep, good year or so. My students, are they going to pay? Do I at least pay my interest when I go, you guys, I'm working super hard, bear with me. I'm at least paying my interest with you?
Yeah.